Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, I'm just having a little play with the mixture for the top layer in my my raised bed. The bottom layer is almost complete with the nutrients in it, the manure at the bottom, and now we've got the last 12 inches or so to use something that's not got too many nutrients in it, so the carrots don't fork like they did last year. So this is just a quick blog to show me what I did, and there's a playlist on the raised beds in the polytunnel, and I think I've figured it out now to one shovelful of the soil from out of the polytunnel, and then 2 of the compost that I find on the side of the road. Now it just happens that this compost's got some perlite in it, so everything that's gone into this raised bed has cost me absolutely nothing. And there's some potatoes, and then the remains out of this compost, apart from the stones, will end up in the paths. It was suggested to me by one of my subscribers to reuse it there. It's very sensible. That's what I like about the comments. Gives me some good tips, because I'm only blogging and trying to share what I do. That may help others. The one soil. As compost on its own, once it dries out, it does take a bit to get the moisture back in, so I'm hoping that the soil and everything that's been added to it in this polytunnel for the last 5 years will do the trick. So that's that part of it. Now I've got my leaf mould here as well, so I'm going to add some leaf mould, but I'm going to add it where I'm actually going to be doing it normally, but I think I'll add it here because the camera's set up. So let me go and get that. So this is my 2-year-old leaf mould. I'm not going to sieve it. I have tried sieving. If it was a bit drier, it may go through the sieve a bit better, but I'm not too worried about it. Obviously I've got to watch how much I use, but this will give it some body. And I have tried this before in the bottom layers, but I didn't want to waste. Not enough. Let's get it. Once I get used to how much I'm adding to each batch, because there is a few more shovelfuls of everything in there. That's looking a little bit darker. The best way to do it, just excuse me for a second, is just to do a bit of comparison. So that's just a wee bit lighter than the stuff that I've been mixing. So I've used a good half a bucket on those 9 or 10 shovelfuls of material. So I'll go and mix the other end up, but what I am going to do, what I will be doing, is pouring my homemade liquid plant food on the top first, so that that will absorb and wet up that layer that you can see now at the bottom of the green tub. So that will all be wetted down with my magic mix, the liquid mix. Now if you want to see how I've mixed my liquid plant foods, if you go to the hashtag keep calm and make compost in my playlist, you'll see how I made this liquid plant food. It is neat, so it does smell, and because I've put that compost at that end as a comparison, I'll see how those carrots do with these here. But this is basically just rejuvenating the compost. So this will have taken, that's taken 7 litres. I'll put a bit more there so I know where I've got to. But that's really strong, powerful stuff, hopefully. And we can do a bit of a comparison with that. So I'll just finish that bit off. You might think that is a little bit excessive, because this compost that I'm doing now is fairly dry. It will need a good watering. The water will penetrate down, go into that area there. That'll sink down, hopefully soak into the compost, and then by the time the taproot gets to it, it can enjoy the food without forking at the top. So I've just mixed a little bit, well, the rest of the leaf mould down here, but it's going to be better to mix it there so it doesn't disturb this. I'm going to leave it quite high, just in case there's any settlement. It will sink when I water it anyway. I can always top it up. Now, I'm pleased with that. I thought I'd just get that this video out of the way, because if I do get time in the week, I can carry on sieving, and I've got somewhere to put it now. Now that compost's been rejuvenated with the food, and I've actually blogged the mixture. Just had a little play to see how many carrots I can perhaps get in across the back. So there'll be 5 carrots across, and then however many all the way through. I may be planting some of my large onions in here as well, so I do need to get all these barrels in, so I can make a note of where the giant cucumbers, the long cucumbers for the show, etc., and squeeze in all the tomatoes in between the blue barrels. Hopefully they won't get too crowded. For those that are new to my channel, or just come to watch, I put 3 seeds in each pot, and I take out the weakest. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.